Hello, welcome back. This is portfolio number 4. This one will be covering a really cool transform position usage, as well as talking about layer masking. So this is a very simple scene setup. I have a character controller, first person, using the character controller component. This is a prefab import from Unity. It's one of their really cool assets they provide for free for first person controller. I also have this blaster script set up, which basically just I press E and it will instantiate a projectile and it will throw it forward at a certain velocity. Uh, and yeah, I also have this impact layer, which I'll get to that in a second. So first, I want to talk about the character controller transforming. So the character controller itself is it's very, very useful for, creating a character and like allowing it to move around the map. It has a lot of things that you might need, but it can be hard getting around like moving your character externally. So this character controller script takes inputs from your keyboard. Uh, but what if I wanted to, on impact of the projectile, I wanted to move to the location of impact? Well, then it gets a little tricky. You have to uh, do a really, really simple trick that's kind of confusing to get your head around. So if I go into the blaster real quick, the bullet script for the projectile itself, you can transform the player uh, only if this is disabled. So the character controller right here, just get it from the player, has to be disabled in order to get a new position. This is because it occurs on the enable loop part of it. So on the enable, character controller will take the current position of the game object it's attached to and update it. This happens extremely fast, so it's it's not going to allow this extra transform to happen because at the beginning of the loop it already knows where it should be, and it has yet to listen to inputs yet. So by disabling it, we're not going to listen to where the character should be, quote unquote. Then we're going to transform ourselves and then we're going to re-enable it. This is going to allow us to move, and I can show you that real quick. Alright, I'll press E, and boom, it works. Yep, just like that. Alright, and as I mentioned, we're also going to talk about layer mask. So one cool thing you can do with projectiles and instantiated things is collect information from them or send them information. So in this case, I have my blaster script. As soon as we fire using the E key, we're going to instantiate it, and then we're going to basically create a reference to the bullet component. This is the script that dictates the logic behind the projectile itself. We're going to actually send it this. So set teleport layer is a script, it's a function that's inside this that just takes an input, a layer mask, and then sets its local layer mask here. Over here, this layer mask is given to us by this right here, so impact layer. So we can add things to it just by clicking. I have it set to ground and teleport. I can also click other things as well, so I have this over here set up. This one right here is set on the teleport layer mask, and this one is set on the no teleport layer. The layer mask itself is going to do a check, so inside the bullet, after it receives its new layer mask, it's going to do a quick check to see if the layer mask is the desired mask, if it's going to allow teleporting. In this case, if it is, just teleport the player. If not, destroy the object. So we can test this out real fast. I'll walk over here, so I can just simply already teleport to the ground right there. Oh, if it will let me, yeah. Once it hits the green, I'll teleport right to it. It'll destroy the object. We'll be good to go. If it hits the red, it's just gonna bounce right off. And this is a really cool way you can make maybe a cool puzzle game in the future where you have to teleport to objects or bounce it off objects to teleport. But yeah, thank you for watching, and that is all.